Hi, everybody. This is Todd Walker with Macintosh Realtors, and I'm sitting next to Evan Owens from ERO Inspection Services. And Evan, you've been inspecting homes for quite a while now, but you've been in the construction industry for quite a while. Tell me a little bit about how you got started.
Well, my father owns a remodeling company, so around age 12 is when he decided it was a good time for me to start learning how to earn a paycheck. So from about that age, it started with literally picking up trash or helping carry something, nothing with power tools. But I've been around construction, remodeling, and building most of my life. Even after college, I worked full-time for that company. But even in my early 30s, my back really started hurting. So I decided, how can I put that knowledge to use without as much physical labor? And so I got into inspecting houses.
Now, was it difficult to get into that?
In Maryland, it's actually fairly easy. You take an accredited class, I believe it's 7 days straight. You have to pass an exam that's regulated by the state of Maryland, but it's called it's like a national home inspection test. But I would say about half the people in my class were contractors and half the people were coming from different industries.
I would think that it would be beneficial to have some construction experience before you became a home inspector.
Yes, I would agree. There were a lot of, during the home inspection class, there was a lot of, you know what I mean? And a lot of people go, because I've been handed home inspector lists from real estate agents, hey, they found this, fix it. And so I know, I've read home inspection reports. I know exactly what they're looking at, but it does help a lot because you kind of know what's under the floor, what's behind the wall, what the root cause of the problem is, as opposed to bedroom 2 has staining on ceiling. That's the surface, but you can tell that it's probably from the thing on the roof that's sticking out and was only sealed with tar that one time, and it does help a lot.
Now, do you prefer inspecting older homes or newer homes, or does it make any difference?
It doesn't really make any difference to me. I mean, every home can be unique because people can do whatever they want in them. So even if, I've been in houses that are only a year old that people have completely remodeled. Once they moved in, they thought, wait a second, why did I choose that, have that wall there, or what was the bathroom like for that? So, older ones are definitely, you never know what you're going to find. I call it, when I did remodeling, I would call it forensic remodeling because, especially in downtown Frederick, there'd be 5 layers of linoleum before you get to the subfloor. But to me, every house is unique. Yeah.
Well, I would think since you did so much renovative work in historical downtown Frederick, that you would be well versed in historic, or should I say older homes.
Yeah, I think having taken them apart and put them back together, I kind of know what to expect when going into a home that's that age. As you know, dry stack foundation means real stone, no mortar. If you're not used to seeing that, you're going to think there's a huge problem. But you and I know that's been there for 200 years.
If there was a problem, it would have happened by now.
Yeah, how do we know it's still okay? The house is still here.
Now, besides home inspections, what other services do you offer?
Okay, so I do the full home inspection. When it comes to new construction stuff, I do phase inspections, like they call it a pre-drywall. So before they actually seal everything in, I go in, I look at all the systems that have been set. So typically plumbing, HVAC, and electric have all been roughed in. So I check all of those for angles of pipes, make sure nothing's bent, make sure nothing's broken, before they cover it all up with drywall. But I'm also checking the framing and the subfloor, the foundation, anything I can see. Then I do a final inspection, which is, that week before settlement. We go in and we make sure if there were things we found during the pre-drywall, was it fixed before you go to settlement? And just, it's very typical things like the dishwasher doesn't shut, the hot and cold were set wrong in all the bathrooms, that kind of thing. But it matters when you're paying that much for a brand new house. I also do mold inspection, where I can do air quality testing, swab testing, and it's called biotape. It's like just a sticky slide. So the two of them are surface testing, is it mold? Let's touch it. Let's find out. And the air testing is how much is in the air, what kind is in the air, that kind of thing. And I also do radon inspections, which is the 48-hour closed condition inspection with the equipment in the basement.
Now, I know that this region all the way up through Pennsylvania is a radon-rich area, but can you find high radon in one house in a community and low in another house?
Oh, for sure. You could find next door neighbors. One person could have very high levels of radon. The next house over could have either less or none. It's really, that's just how it works coming through the earth like that, depending on what kind of basement you have or foundation type you have, or even just where your house was dug. Yeah.
Now, and also lead paint with older homes, I would think that could be a problem.
Yeah, it can be a problem. Luckily, since that stopped in the 70s, a lot of people have taken care of that situation over time. There are homes that have that. I'm not certified to test for lead, but I always tell people, even like from Home Depot, you can get lead surface testing strips or the little capsule things. Those are just as valuable. I mean, I was a certified lead renovator when I was doing remodeling work, so I know what it looks like and the characteristics of it. It's just at this point, I can't legally tell you it's lead.
Right.
Right. But, I mean, go to Home Depot, get a test, you test the surface, it'll tell you immediately.
Now, do you still find asbestos in older homes?
Typically in older homes, asbestos comes in two forms. Pipe insulation, the chalky white insulation around the pipes, or floor tiles that are 9-inch by 9-inch. Those are your clues. If you're remodeling in your home or you're looking at a home and the floor tiles are 9 by 9, it's worth checking. If you are buying a home and there's that chalky looking white insulation around all the pipes, it's worth checking. Those are the two big ones.
Now, I heard a home inspector one time point out that white chalky insulation around the pipes, and the buyer said, "What should we do?" And they said, "Well, unless it's flaking, best left alone." Is that still true? Or
that can be true for sure. I mean, if it's in a back storage room that you never go into and it's never been messed with, most likely fine. You're right. Once it becomes aerated or that dust starts to occur, that's when it can be dangerous. Like anything, there are two ways to handle it. Get rid of it or encapsulate it. I've seen people that literally wrap it in duct tape and just say, okay, I encapsulated it. The removal process is pretty extensive because it's not just the area you're taking it from, but it's the surrounding areas. You have to create practically a tunnel to get to it. But like you're saying, if the surface isn't cracked and no one's ever messed with it, it's not posing a huge problem.
Now, I recommend to my clients who are getting ready to sell their house that it would be a good idea to have a home inspector come out prior to listing to find out all the things that might be wrong and fix them before they list it, and have another home inspector come in and they're under the time gun. Is that pretty accurate?
Yeah, I do. I call those pre-sale inspections. I do pre-sale inspections. I'd say a third of my inspections are pre-sale.
Really?
Yeah. It's a lot of, I've lived here for 30 years. We've had some work. We've completely avoided some things. Just tell me the condition of my house. And that's what I do. That's what I would do for someone that's buying a house. So it's this same principle, same full home inspection, but the list goes to the current owner. And now they can decide, can we afford to do this? It's all transparent now. It takes that anxiety of, well, we're waiting on the home inspector to come back with their list. And then, a lot of people can get a little insulted. I've lived here for 20 years. I never thought that was a problem. But it gives you the opportunity to, what can I fix? Who do I need to call for this problem? I'm not listing for 3 months, like you're saying, the time crunch, as compared to, until settlement, I have 20 days. I have to do it all now. It can get pretty stressful.
Well, especially when you call the electrician, he says, well, I'm booked 2 months out. I can come for double time.
Right, exactly. It's already a stressful enough situation. So if you remove that stressor of, waiting for what the home inspector could find, and you just are accepting the information and deciding how to handle it, it's definitely, I think it's the way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what does ERO stand for?
ERO is Evan Riley Owens. Those are my initials. Yeah. So I appreciate that you knew to say ERO because a lot of people are calling it Arrow.
Arrow. Well,
which I'll answer to. I don't care.
sure. Errol Flynn was a very famous actor
That's
in the
true.
1930s.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So you're right up there. Spelled a little different, but that's all right. So if someone wanted to hire you to come out for just general inspection or pre-listing, how would they reach you?
I have a website, EROInspectionServices.com. On social media, I'm on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, constantly posting to those. You know, a lot of things are just funny things I find. There's also some educational stuff on there. Just look for ERO Inspections. They can call me. Should I say my phone number?
By all means.
240-772-2126. And I'm the only employee. So you're talking to me when you call me. You can also text me. I love when people text me, you know, and from there we can set up another call, which is typically what happens. Or you can email me. My email is evan@eroinspectionservices.com. So any way you're more comfortable reaching out, I'll respond.
Well, thanks so much for coming in. I do appreciate it.
Oh, thanks for having me, Todd.
Oh, you're most welcome. And you stay tuned. We'll do another one soon.